Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Woo, sir. How we doing? Eric Ten Hag era has officially begun. There's been nothing but negativity for good reason around this squad. Summer window. Oof. Don't get me started on that one. But that being said, United came out and put in a solid performance. First time we could say that in arguably a year. Maybe, we had a couple of those hat-trick darling games against lowly opposition last season with Ronaldo pulling things out of his pocket. But today, we put some grit in, put a performance in, saw some big showings from the new lads. Eriksson looked good. Martinez looked great. And Malacia looks like he is taking that starting spot in the left-back position away from the meat pie. It's going to be hard to get it back based on what kind of shift he put in today. But also, Varane having a go. Rashford getting his goal. Martial coming off the bench and looking quite good. So, sir, there's going to be a lot of bumps along the road. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs to get from where we are today and where we want to be. And we're not winning the league anytime soon. But that being said, this was something exciting, something hopeful, something to get the boys up for today. How we feeling? How you doing?
So this is the point in the movie where they wheel the patient into the hospital, absolutely flatline. They take out the defibrillator, clear, put it on the chest, nothing. Do it again, nothing. Everyone thinks they're gone. We've lost them, and boom, they come back to life. That was Manchester United today. We saw them dead on the operating table to start this season against Brighton and Brentford, and boy, did they come to life. Who could have ever have seen that coming? The mentality monsters. Martinez at the back, showing what it means to play for the badge. These players had their back against the wall, and they fought like a rabid dog. It's what you want to see at home in front of the Stretford End, the 70,000 faithful, sir. What a day to be a Manchester United fan. And boy, the sweet wouldn't taste so sweet without the bitter, and we've been chewing that bitter for about 8 months. So what a result, what a win. All of the Manchester United fans around the world, just enjoy this one today.
We've been sucking down lemons, sir, with no sugar on the side that gets you to lemonade. And today it was some sweetness. Like you said, bold from the boys in the field. They put it out there. They outran them. They out-tackled them. But also shout out to Erik Ten Hag making bold decisions around his starting 11, both in the lead up to the game, right? Dropping Ronaldo, dropping Maguire, dropping Shaw, all of which looks to be vindicated. But at the same time, in-game management was very good. I like the halftime sub. The Fred sub probably could even come a little bit earlier because we were starting to fade. But then bringing in those three players at the end to kind of shore up shop. Something to kick on for. So we needed all 3 points. There was nothing but negativity surrounding the squad. We also got in a world-class central midfielder. Not the one we've been looking for, but a different one. Came out of nowhere. Have you heard of Casemiro, sir? He's younger than Henderson, who they seem to think is world-class. He didn't look so world-class today. But a great win and a great way to get the first 3 points, not the last 3 points of the Erik Ten Hag era, sir. Off to a good start, finally, because the amount of negativity surrounding this squad, you would have thought they were going to fire the manager before you can even get to Christmas. And now, hey, he's bought himself some breathing room to Southampton, at least that.
I mean, what a result against the Scouse Bastards. They're struggling. Scouse Bastards are struggling. They were out without their main man, Darwin Núñez. You got to caveat that there. But for me, it doesn't matter about who we're playing because the way we played against Brentford, not interested, and then the way we were outworking the Scouse Bastards to 50-50 balls, putting in challenges like we're deserve to wear the shirt, like you should at Manchester United, like you should in a derby, like you should in a rivalry game. And a huge shout out to Erik Ten Hag. He must be listening to the podcast because he heard that Rocky quote. It's about taking the hits and keep on going. And Ten Hag put in his boys, big changes. Put Ronaldo, take a seat. Harry Maguire, take a seat. Luke Shaw, take a seat. Those are big moves. Back against the wall stuff. He puts in his boys, and they do it good. Look, Luke Shaw, whoo,
see ya.
England International.
See ya.
Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire are literally going to be playing for England in the World Cup, and they're not going to be playing for Manchester United.
Europa League, sir. They're Europa League players now.
I've never seen the left-hand side look that strong.
I know, dude.
Shutting down Salah. And, shout out to Delo.
He played
He
well.
did a job on Diaz.
He played
did
well.
a job on Diaz. Look, everyone stepped up, and that's what it's about. This is a team game. It's not I, me. I mean, Ronaldo, like we said, an ego of a planet. Maybe that's when you sit him, you can start seeing the others shine. But, what a performance. Rashford as well, hitting the goal. Just a great day to be a Manchester United fan, and one that you just have to enjoy because it has been such a rough go, and I got to smile. So the air smells a little better. The water tastes a little better today. I'll tell you, it's a great day to be a United fan.
Sir, it's always a great day, but especially like this last 12 months we've had Ole, Rangnick, and then even Erik ten Hag kind of being left out to dry. United front office starting to make moves at the very last minute, overpaying for players. Hey, it's not our money, but they're getting some bodies in. But that being said, his back's against the wall, and what's he do? He makes big decisions, and those decisions were not taken lightly. Even Ralph Rangnick, who never even had the job, he was afraid to kind of drop Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw. Today, did it. And the boys, even when boys didn't play perfectly, like Bruno get the ball away a couple times, but they made big, it's like fucking make a big mistake. Go for it. Put a tackle in, and they look like an old United side. They didn't have to be better than every single minute of the game, but they fought for every blade of grass. They showed up today. They fought to the 90th minute, 90th plus. And it looked like they were actually like talking to each other. The defensive side were actually communicating. There wasn't as much pouting and negativity. Maybe it's because we didn't go down in the 5th minute like last year when we played the Scots Bastards at home. But it just looked like a team. It looked like a real United side. A lot of work still to be done, but like it was promising, sir. A lot to get excited about.
And a huge shout out to all the fans who showed up to the protest. Hashtag Glazers out. It is always green and gold. The club is sold. I feel like there's so many great things to talk about today, and the fan unity singing "We Want the Glazers Out" in the Stretford end to start the game. I thought the protest and the fans were in full voice, and we got to be pushing hard to get these owners out of our club. Right now is the moment. Don't fall for the panic buys in the transfer window. We need to be pushing. We got to get the Glazers out of this club. That is how United will properly be back. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, you are our only hope. Quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the America Devils and you want to support us, the best way to do so is via Patreon. We do not have any private sponsors. We believe in being backed by you, the fans, because why should we be hawking you or selling you things that you heard on every other pod? You don't need to hear me and Alex stumble through ad reads. So support us the direct fan route. We think it's 2022. That's the way to go. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/America Devils. You also get some merch, and you get behind-the-scenes podcast episodes. It is a win-win. Check it out. Also, check out our website, americadevils.com. Great fan-generated blog content. Blog's been ripping. Alex is editor-in-chief. Also, click on store. We have merchandise. Our new scarves are up. We have green and gold. The club has sold merch there as well. Please check that out. Also, our Discord channel is on fire. Over 760 Muppets chatting on our Discord channel. There's an invite on our Twitter and our website. So if you're interested, jump into the Discord chat with some fellow Muppets. Sir, tell them about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews or 5-star reviews of the American Devils pod, wherever you listen, whether it be on iTunes or Spotify or the like. It's a great way to support the pod. Even better, we're giving away some free merch. All you have to do, write that 5-star review, send a screenshot to AmericanRedDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I will personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear. Send it right to your door. Great way to support the pod. It doesn't cost a single dollar. Helps us get found organically. Here's a great review from David Healy. Excellent Man United podcast. Recently discovered this podcast, and I'm a huge fan. It's great to get a fan perspective by fans who are honest and not blindly rooting for the club. Highly recommend this pod to anyone. Keep up the great work. Thank you, David. Thank you to all the American Red Devil fans listening in, week out. And the reviews go a long way. Sir, they go a long way when you get a big win against those Scouse bastards, sir. Klopp, he was pissed. I love pissed off Klopp. If I see him just complaining, his teeth are too big to fit into his mouth, sir. He can't even close his mouth.
So
those teeth.
You missed out. You went the wrong year. You went last year to the Scouse Bastards.
I certainly went the wrong year.
Oh my God, that's right. We're talking Manchester United 2, the Scouse Bastards 1. It was at Old Trafford, the third game of the EPL season. Let's get into that starting 11. Dave saves world number one in net. You have an error. You get a new fresh haircut. You're back, baby. Let's go. Dave saves.
High and tight, baby. High and tight.
I love it. I love it. Malacia left back. Martinez for Ron. Like, how are they not our starting center back combo? Delo on the right. McTominay, Eriksson, Fernandez midfield. Elanga on the left. Rashford running through the middle. And Sancho on the right. Erik ten Hag. He's got some big cojones. He put Ronaldo on the bench for Anthony Elanga.
Dude, he's got cojones, but that's what we want him. We want a bold manager because he's going to be fighting with his hands behind his back. And today, it's a bold 11, sir. Drop in Maguire, 80 million pound Harry Maguire, captain, former captain of Manchester United. Luke, the meat pie, Luke Shaw. Malacia looking just like a proper player. 12.5 million pounds. He might be the buy of the summer. And then dropping up McFred, I like that. I didn't think Fred was that bad. McTominay, big role to play, but he played well. Elanga, I can see what he was trying to do, go for pace. And also Ronaldo wants to leave, has made it very clear he wants to leave. So I do think you have to kind of plan that he's not going to be in your plan. I like this 11. Sir, you had some issues when you saw it. What do you think?
My only thought was like a lot of changes, maybe too many changes. I don't mind dropping Ronaldo, but then like switching out Malacia and then Harry and I just felt it was like a lot of rotation in a tight period. And obviously, how could you get any worse than what we saw against Brentford? But but when a manager starts like when you play bad. When you put Eriksson at 10 and we play bad, then you put him at CDM, we play bad, and then you rotate 5 players and you're coming on that like chop and change and you're already in that mode. Anyone confident going into this game? I don't think so. Let's get into that first half.
So, like you said, we weren't confident, but the boys were. United came out full of energy, flying into tackles and really trying to grab the game by the scruff of the neck early. And it was early where we got our first big chance. 10th minute, Elanga hits the post. McTominay finds Bruno in the box with a narrow through ball. Bruno kind of pokes it over to Elanga as he's getting taken down by the Scouse defender. And Elanga, all he has to do is square it in to beat Alisson. Hits the right post. Sir, I thought we were going to be ruining this one. You texted me Ronaldo finishes that one, no doubt. But you could see what they were trying to do. They were trying to stretch Liverpool. We could have used that early goal always, right?
Yeah, no, a great opportunity for Elanga. It's a shame, as a fan, I want that to go in. But you're right, Ronaldo does bury that. I think there was a reason why Elanga did come out at halftime. He kind of went missing here. But it was the intensity, the focus, the intensity, just the lack of fear going in for some hard challenges in a real rivalry game, not letting them walk all over us. Putting our mark on the match. That is what United should be doing at home, sir. I went to this game in 2010 with Rooney and all the legends of the game, and they were putting in challenges all over the field. So that's how it should be done, and we set the tone early on. Speaking of early on, give me that goal.
16th minute.
Back by Martinez. Eriksson's return pass. Malacia and Sancho has sat one down. Trafford explodes!
So I have a problem keeping my voice down when United scores a big goal. This was a big goal. Great goal from Sancho. Just to kind of take a touch, switch over his left foot, and then the best is when Milner's yelling at Van Dijk. I just love that. Like, if we're doing that, that means we're getting underneath their skin. You love to see it. Elanga didn't have the best game, like you said. Should have scored that early opportunity, but he does well. He does a link-up play with Eriksson in the build-up to this goal, and a nice ball from him. But just overall, great goal, great composed finish, and good for Sancho to get off the block. I also love Bruno pointing to him. Bruno pointing to the corner of the net, like, shoot here. That was also a highlight.
Oh, I'll tell you, as cool as the other side of the pillow, Sancho just stopping, like setting in Milner to go get his lunch. That was unbelievable. And then to just bury it. Look,
Milner.
If we're going to be a team, we got to get the best out of Jadon Sancho. And today we got the best out of him. And that's what you want to see. 26th minute, Eriksson curls in a great free kick from the edge of the box. Alisson tips it over Eriksson. He gets a shout today. Like, we were getting a lot of good free kicks, and he was taking advantage of that. 37th minute, Martinez with a good block and interception in a row. He's looking feisty. He's all about it, putting his body on the line. That's what you want to see. We faded hard here. Last 15 minutes, that intensity coming out of the gate. I was thinking we could do it for 20, and then it's going to be hanging on, and I felt like we were hanging on a little bit here. 41st minute, Bruno with a bad clearance blasted off Martinez. This was almost a handball. Also, Bruno lost the ball in like our third as well in this run up to play. So that was like Pogba-esque turnover. But Bruno, he did come back in the second half, but we did look a little nervy here. Thank God we didn't concede. We end the half going in at 1-0. That's all you need as a United fan right now. What were you thinking at halftime?
No, I mean, I was thinking, like you said, last 15 minutes were nervy. I think we were starting to get a little, maybe tired-legged. I mean, when we came out, Liverpool looked gassed. It looked like, meat sweats were kind of accumulating on their jerseys. In the last 15 minutes, I thought the defense kind of really shone then because they had to rely on each other. They had to do like kind of teamwork at its finest. And, Martinez, Varane, and even Delo at times, as well as Malacia, really shined in that back four. De Gea really not called into the second half, but I think this, like the goal line clearance at the end from Bruno's mistake, just speaks to what kind of game he had because he was basically faultless. Martinez, that is.
Jumping into the second half, Martial came on for Alonga. I'm sure Martial only had a half in him, and this was already planned. But again, instant impact from Martial, sir. Let's get into that goal.
53rd minute.
Around and it broke from Martial and Rashford's ahead of him if he can let him go, and Marcus Rashford is on his way and clogs it in front of a buoyant Stretford end. Manchester United are living again.
So Manchester United are living again. We certainly are. What a hold-up ball by Tony Martial. Big credit where credit's due. I was really worried that it was off. Feels like we're getting like the gentleman's calls these days around this because last year there's no way we get that as called on. But nice finish from Rashford. You could tell how much it means to him. Big goal from United. We needed that second goal. You knew that they had a goal in them. So this is very important. Also the VAR call. Also Rashford. Looking up with Martial, there's going to be a lot of onus put on them. Doesn't matter if we get in a couple more signings from the Dutch league. Big expectations for number 9 and number 10. So great goal and great assist from Tony Martial.
Yeah, great hold to play from Martial, and he looked to be he made an instant impact coming on. And when you have Sancho and Rashford running behind, I really felt like the Martial was a difference maker, especially on this goal. And what a finish from Rashford. Just ice cold finish from him. He needs that. You love to see it. 57th minute, Rashford with a good low shot saved after Varane does well to hold up the ball. Champions League Varane in the box, juggling a little bit, gives it to Rashford. I thought this was going to sneak in. Alisson was wise to it. 71st minute sub. Fred for Sancho. Ten Hag wants to shore it up, but oh no, somehow McFred midfield's back.
Back!
I was like, oh no, we can concede two here. 76th minute, Rashford beats a few defenders, goes in on goal but blasted over. And 81st minute, De Gea, big save on Firmino, and unfortunately, we were good for a goal. 82nd minute.
Who else? Who else but Mo Salah, sir?
Elliott back in. Carvalho turning. De Gea smothering. Salah following up. Liverpool have an interest. 10 minutes to play.
And then just the cheekiness. He's like really showing his captain material. Bruno refusing to give the ball back. I don't hate that because we need a little bit more shithousery in this side if they're going to go anywhere. Not the goal you want to be giving up, right? Like, I guess technically Varane and Martinez could have done a little bit more after De Gea does well to get a save in. But so this shit wasn't built in a day. There's still going to be some leaks in this ship. But, I made the last 10 minutes very nervy.
Yeah, not De Gea's fault here, but,
De Gea played well today, it must be said.
No,
it was booting it. Long balls all day.
Hey, yeah, when in doubt, just boot it. Get out of there. Like you said, this is a rough one to give up. So nervy. I was like, we're going to concede another. I was like, this is...
You get burned too many times. I get it.
I called 5 minutes too. I was like,
I knew. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
I was going to text you 5 minutes, and then it would turn out to be 5 minutes.
I couldn't believe that.
Bruno shithousery, like, I don't know. I don't know if that's captain material. Like, he's like pretending like he get poked in the eye. He's acting like a fool a little bit. I don't like that. You know, the Iberian Peninsula shithousery, dude. I got 25% Portuguese in me, but you know, I just like.
You got that in your locker.
Play.
You got it in your locker. So they're trying to get all 3 points.
I'm not gonna say that's like captain material. Like, I'm proud of it, but you know, it is what it is. This game is crazy. 86-minute triple sub. Ronaldo, Donny, and Wan-Bissaka on for Dalot, Eriksson, and Rashford. Get some fresh legs out there, and we end up winning.
It's good sub.
2-1.
I like the triple sub, sir. I don't know how you felt about it. I thought like we needed that for the last 10 minutes, and that went a long way.
Is that the last time you're going to see Ronaldo at Old Trafford in the Manchester United jersey?
Yes.
We will see match reaction stats. 12 shots to Scouse Faster 17. 4 shots on target to their 5. We had 29% of the ball to their 71%. 264 passes to their 614. Wow, pass accuracy, we had 66% to their 83%.
Look at all those fouls, though, sir.
We got them in fouls. Corners were 6 to 8. But again, if you looked at the XG, we definitely had them. I felt like that first 25 minutes, we were splitting them open, getting a lot of great chances. United, well-deserved win. Could have been 3 if Elanga hit the inside of the post there. And Erik ten Hag is the first Manchester United manager to secure his first ever competitive win with the club against Liverpool. I like that. And Rashford has ended a run of 997 minutes without a goal in all competitions. Jesus. Everyone coming back to life here. And Manchester United have never lost a Premier League game against Liverpool when they led at halftime, winning 17 of the such 20 matches. I didn't think we were going to lose. I thought we were going to draw. But, you know. At the end of the day, we're 14th. We're ahead of the Scouse Bastards at the table.
We're chipping up. We're chipping up.
It goes Arsenal, Shitty, Leeds, Tottenham. Top 4 right now. Obviously, it's early. We don't check the table until Christmas, so I don't know why you're putting it here in the podcast. We do not talk about the table until then. But what do we know? Let's hear from the man himself, the manager. What do you have to say to the press?
We can talk about tactical, but it's all about attitude. And now you see, we bring the attitude on the pitch. There was communication, there was a fighting spirit, and especially there was team. And then you can see what they can achieve because they can fucking cool play football.
You had 9 days. Sorry, I apologise for the language if there was a little F-bomb dropped in there.
Sorry.
Do apologise for that.
I quite enjoyed it.
I wasn't sure if it was lost in translation, Eric. I do apologise. You had 9 days to prepare for this game, but did you expect that kind of reaction from the Brentford game?
I wanted a different approach. I wanted a different attitude, and that is what they bring on the pitch. And that's what makes me satisfied. But it's only a start. We have to keep humble. I think we can play much better if we have a little bit more composure, give an extra pass. We can much more dangerous because, what I say, we have good players. But now be a team, be a good spirit, and then you will act. And that is what we saw today in moments. But also when you have to make the game, you have to be better on the ball.
Eric, specifically, you mentioned attitude, fighting spirit. It was absolutely amazing to watch. But what actually have you done during the week, and what have you said to the players?
It's not always about what we said. What I said to them, we have to act, not to talk a lot, just to act and make sure you are a team and battle and also be brave. Give each other options when we have the ball. So it's not only about spirit. When we out of possession, yes, we want to press. And sometimes I think strikers that they cannot do it because they have to save the energy for their offensive actions. In nowadays football, both is a demand. You have to bring it on the pitch. Out of possession, and then you can be a threat in possession. And that is what you saw. It makes me happy that Rashford and Jadon Sancho make the goals.
Sir, he's so excited that he drops an F-bomb with Sky Sports. And not only that, nothing like Carragher, just like mean mugging and pissed off. Love to see that. Good from Erik ten Hag, talking about how the boys could play even better, a little bit more composure. The game was there to be had, but excited. Excited to see like that mad dog Eric Ten Hag let his freak flag fly a little bit, dropping F-bombs, because you know what? This is a big result for Manchester United. This is a big result for this squad, and he needed it right now. Like, back against the wall. Everybody's coming after him. 5-9 signings, shit. Nothing's come off. You don't know what you're doing. And you know what? Dude, kudos to the manager. He had a big day today.
I tweeted it out. He had like a 1,000-yard stare in like the 94th minute on the touchline. He was feeling it like all of us. That's why I'm sure he's cursing. He's like so happy we got the 3 points. What a win. He knew what that would mean to him and the squad. And you got to put down your marker. With those changes, you put down a marker, and it worked, and we got a huge win. So that's how you take control. That's how you become a leader as the manager of Manchester United. But, sir, we can only enjoy this one so long because we play on Monday. We got a game Saturday. That's right. It is a next match, Southampton versus Manchester United at the St. Mary's Stadium, Saturday, August 27th, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. Why do you do this to me? 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Oh, my God, that early wake-up for Southampton. It's almost going to be a cursed match. Lifetime versus Southampton, we've won 67, drawn 36, we've lost 28. First time we played them, February 1897 in the FA Cup. We drew 1-1. Last 5, we've drawn 3 and won 2, if you can believe it. And one of those was 9-0. Last year, we drew them twice. We can only improve. But I got some bad news for you. Southampton, they're not playing bad. They beat Leicester City. They are struggling, but that is a big result. They drew Leeds 2-2, who just drew shitty. And they did have a bad opening fixture against this Tottenham 4-1. So you can't really do the math here, but Southampton, they're going to be sneaky dangerous. We are going away. And hear me out here. These lads, these bluffers, these leopards who can't change their spots, they have shown up in big games before under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And then they haven't been able to do it against the smaller teams. This is a huge test for Erik ten Hag. Can we run that hard away against smaller opposition? Can we get the lads up? They have to get up. If they can do it against the Scouts Bastards, I just have to caveat that because behavior we've seen from this crew.
No, you're 100% right. We know we've watched a lot of football. We watched a lot of Manchester United. We call this I believe we call this a trap game, sir. Trap game. Because you go at home, Old Trafford, you get Casemiro in attendance. Dude, all the Old Trafford fans outside are protesting the owners. They want him out. So, like, it was a special day, I'm sure, at Old Trafford. They wanted to get up for the new manager, put in performance. Now you're going to the South Coast, first game of the day. Dude, you're tough crowd, St. Mary's, they get behind their team, and they're a sneaky hard team to play. They're going to be very compact. They're going to counter quickly and aggressively. They're going to be a challenge. So I hope that we see the same gumption from the manager. I hope he sticks largely with this 11. Maybe switch it up a little bit because we're playing a different style of team, and maybe he can be more aggressive with his 11. But I wouldn't change that back 5. And it's a big, big match. Excited about it. Now there's a little bit more hope in this season, so the hopium's back. But these are the kind of games you got to be winning. On the road is never easy, but you have to be winning against Southampton, especially when you already lost, 2 games with teams that you should be picking some points up with. So this is a big one. This is, I don't know if we're in must-win category. I don't even know how you define that anymore and what the bar is. But this is a big game for Erik ten Hag. You want to keep the momentum up.
This is a top 4 must-win category.
That's
for
true.
Sure.
If you want to finish top 4,
you want to be in top 4. We got to go 5 on the trot here. We got to really turn it around. Like we said, we have that real tough October coming up. Lots of games to be played because that Winter World Cup's going to mess everything up, and we got to be getting these wins. We're hungry for these points. A little history on Southampton. They were founded in 1885, one of the founding members of the Premier League. They have spent the majority of their history in the top flight since their promotion into it in 1966. Their longest continuous period was for 27 seasons between 78 and 2005. Like we mentioned, they play at St. Mary's Stadium. They're nicknamed the Saints because they were founded as a church football team as part of St. Mary's Church of England Young Men's Association. So instead of saying that, they just called them the Saints. They have long-standing rivalries with Portsmouth, due in part to geographic proximity and both cities' respective maritime histories. The matches between those two are known as the South Coast Derby. There's some tricky teams down the South Coast, and traveling down there from Manchester, it's quite the trip. They've been playing the 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Ward-Prowse is good for a banger against Manchester United. That's kind of it's kind of a known fact. All the other guys, Walker Peters, Iluusi, I can't pronounce that name, but again, not the biggest crew of all-stars, but they're going to be showing up, and they're going to be well organized on the South Coast. Jumping into Manchester United injuries, Facundo, his ankle injury. Brandon Williams, he might be sold, and Lindelof has not returned to the training pitch just yet. So those three are out. We're pretty healthy. Given that, what is your lineup, Alex, for Southampton?
This is who I've got, sir, on the South Coast. Big game against the Saints. I got De Gea in at Delo, Varane, Martinez, Malacia. I'm doing Casemiro. Woo! He's a Manchester United player. Wow. Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford, Sancho, Martial. Who you got, sir?
Casa who? Casa what? Casserole.
Rabiot. Rabiot? Is it Rabiot, that guy? The guy with the mom?
Casserole Ravioli in the middle of midfield for
Casserole.
Manchester United. I got Dave Say's world number one. He's back with that new fresh cut, doing it number one. David De Gea here. Delo, Varane, Martinez, Malacia. You got to start him. Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno, Rashford. Sir, I want to put him in. I'm going to put in Rashford, Ronaldo, and Sancho just because I have to.
You know he's gone, bro.
Just because I have to. I have to put him in. Martial will be playing, obviously, but I have to put Ronaldo in there just because I'm a fanboy. Hate to see him become the villain of my own team, but I love Manchester United more than, I support Cristiano Ronaldo and that planet ego. I'm sure it's all going to come out, that interview with the press. We'll see how that goes. Booking the bookies, Southampton versus Manchester United. We are the favorites, minus 130 to win, plus 300 for the draw, plus 320 for Southampton to win, plus 300 for the draw. Looks like pretty good money. Given that, what is your score prediction for this match?
So United keep the ball rolling 3-1. We always concede one. I think Ward-Prowse banger outside the box sounds about right. But Martial, he gets a goal, Sancho gets another goal, and Rashford gets a goal. So what you got?
So I predicted the Scouts Bastards would beat us 7-1.
You said 7-1, didn't you?
I said they beat us 7-1, and we came out like a team I don't even recognize. So I'm going to say, because I know the whole team listens to the pod, I'm going to say 7-1 to get them fired up. Southampton's going to be the 7-1. Going to get them fired up for the match.
Awesome.
Let's get into the news.
That's awesome.
United in the news. Lots of news to cover. Transfer Muppetry. It's all over the table. First one, Ravioli. Adrian Ravioli is no longer coming to Manchester United. Chef Boyer, see ya.
This guy's on a roll. Keep going.
Adrian Ravioli. Who wanted him anyway?
Not me.
It's like Chef Boyardee. I will tell you, like, yeah,
Chef Boyardee.
I would literally compare Casemiro to like eating some like proper Italian food out, like nice restaurant, nice red wine,
Yeah, like,
and then
with truffles, with like
Raviol's
fresh truffles, and he's what? He's like canned.
Yeah, he's like canned Chef Boyardee, bro. So like Rabiot, risk of pretend that never happened, that we weren't in for him. Casemiro, he's in. We want that nice red wine, that nice Italian food, proper. This came out of left field. Hey, I'll take it. He's a player. You watch him. He's got a hell of a tackle on him. It's going to be interesting, though. I have to make the comment that this is not a replacement for Frankie de Jong. It can't be, because you watch Frankie de Jong, you watch Casemiro, they're two completely different players. So while I am excited about him coming to United, the transfer strategy literally makes no sense to be compared to Rabiot, Casemiro, Frankie de Jong. They're arguably much different players. So it's literally throwing it at the wall, see what sticks. You got to hit on the Glazers for that. You got to hit on Murtaugh for that. The 40 chest for Frankie, what are we doing? This has been a rough window. So I like him, but how we got him and if he's the guy we really need, those are questions that have to kind of cloud this transfer, because I don't mind the deal. It just goes to the whole, like, let's get a 30-year-old and pay him like $400,000 a week so he can't say no. And how are these deals in like year 4? And so I hope he is the one to turn out right, because the Sanchez didn't go well. Falcao didn't go well. Di Maria didn't go well. Cavani didn't really go well. Ronaldo's not going well. Varane didn't go well last year.
Nope.
He looked good today.
He did.
But these big money come out and retire here wages over like 4 or 5 years. It's just, this is not the game plan that we should be in. We should be in the Casiedo 23 5-year deal. Like, these are we got to get younger. This is a stopgap option, but we've been stopgapping to stopgap to stopgap, and that's part of the reason why we are where we are today. And so while I do rate Casemiro as a player, I have to ding the strategy.
No, I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. But at the end of the day, he's a world-class player. He's only 30 years old, which for a midfielder, if he can take care of his body, which, hey, there are some question marks about his discipline, you should have plenty of years left in the tank, right? If we can get 3-4 years out of him, 30 appearances a season in the Premier League, and he can play well as he's been playing to a certain degree for his last club, it'll be a good transfer. Like you said, not a like for like of Frankie de Jong. I think this speaks more of just like how haphazard the transfer window has been because the lack of planning and the lack of really just like seasoned professionals in the seat. But that being said, we were looking at Ravioli, sir, and now we're getting the best, arguably the best central defensive midfielder in the world. Plays with Fred. That's something I'm excited about. Like, Fred looks good when he plays with Brazil. Obviously, there's 9 other players with a Brazil passport that also play in that 11. But those two have looked good in midfield together. I like him and another player. Like, I like what you said, like a Moyes, Casiedo, and a Casemiro, right? Young and a seasoned vet. We still need seasoned vets. We lost, 2 in Matic and Pogba. He's a proper player, but we probably could have got him for 40, 50% less if we did it earlier in the window, right? Like, if we did it in June, they probably could have gone for 35, 40. Instead, we got 60, could go to 70. But he's a top player. If he can stay fit, sir, he could be a great signing.
Yeah, so, just give you an overview of the deal. 60 million plus 10 in add-ons, 4-year contract with an option for a 5th year. Again, big money, apparently De Gea type money here. Looking at his stats per 90 minutes versus midfielders across the world, his aerial duels 96th percentile, clearances 97th percentile, blocks 93rd percentile, tackles 91st percentile, passes attempted 88th percentile. But you start dribbles completed 44th percentile, progressive carries 36th percentile, XG assisted 50th percentile, non-penalty goals 22nd percentile. So what does this sound like? It sounds like he is a proper defensive player. And at the end of the day, Frankie de Jong, he's a proper ball-playing midfielder. I watched a lot of highlights on Casemiro. I rate him. He's got a pass in his locker, but he is probably the best tackler in world football at the moment. And you look at Frankie de Jong, and he's probably one of the best passers in world football at the moment. And all of Frankie de Jong highlights, they're in the final third. All of Casemiro's highlights, they're in their own third.
It's true.
They're completely different players. It's black and white. And at the end of the day, we're signing Casemiro to replace what we need from Frankie. And if I know how Ten Hag wants to play, and we watched Ajax, we need a ball-playing central midfielder. Now, maybe that's Eriksen coming deep. Casemiro sits in front of the back four, and then Bruno and Eriksen can do the job. But this is a big shift away from what Frankie de Jong would mean to Manchester United. And shame on all those fans that thought that Murtaugh and Arnold were playing 4D chess when they actually had no idea what they were doing in Barcelona, because we called it out, and we got a lot of flack for that. I said, these numpties don't know anything. I was like, if they're out there, that's a bad sign. Everyone was calling us out about that. And, where are we at today? Apparently there's a sniff. We might still be in for Frankie. Frankie liked a post about Casemiro joining Manchester United.
Didn't even make the news, sir. Didn't even make the news.
now, if we get both of them, then hey, I'll put my hands up. But, Barcelona's got to sell somebody, and Frankie de Jong and Casemiro would be like we go from like the worst midfield to the best midfield, and that would be great. So I'm not anti. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that Arnold and Murtaugh know what they're doing. Speaking of not knowing what you're doing, we can't even sell Eric Bailly. Apparently, Olympique Marseille wants a loan. Buy clause will be mandatory for him. On the selling side, we said it early in the summer. Show me you can sell players. Show me you can sell. I think being a director of football, it's a two-way street. Look at who City sold. Look at who they bought. And we can't sell Brandon Williams. We can't even sell Eric Bailly. You got to put him on loan. So again, we'll keep you posted on this one. Bailly, it's a shame it didn't work out, but he's got to get somewhere where he can get proper minutes. And then getting to absolutely lunacy, Anthony from Ajax. He was not a part of the Ajax 11 versus Sparta Rotterdam on Sunday. He's pushing for a move to Manchester United. 100 million euros is being quoted. This is why, you read the book, you listen to the pod. We tell Manchester United how to do business. You do your business early because you don't want to be overpaying for players like this. We could have got him for 60 earlier in the window. Glazers feeling the pressure. Now they want to pay 100. I watched the highlights. I got his stats here. I mean, he's really good in the Dutch league, but 100 million? Come on. No one to hold him. No one to fold him. This is a deal you do not do.
No, I agree with you, sir. I'm not going to argue that because, 100 million is a lot of millions, especially when you can get another winger with more goals, more assists in the same league for around 40 million, and that gives you 50, 60 that you could go spend on Ivan Toney. I bet they'd be willing to do a deal at 50, 60 million pounds, and he's Premier League proven, and we still need a number 9. So I have to agree here. I think it's there's one thing to punt on a Casemiro who's won 5 Champions Leagues. This guy, hey, he might end up being a Manchester United player, and then I'll bite my tongue, but that is big money, and you could see how that could be just a fucking curse on some players. Like Harry Maguire is probably, I think captaincy was a big part of him just crumbling style of play too, to a certain extent, but he can't live up to no $80 million price tag, the most expensive defender in the world. This is going to be a big kind of noose around this guy's neck.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Anthony, living up to $100 million price tag.
The defender?
I was comparing him to Magoo, bro. Magoo. About
Harry Magoo. I forgot he existed, sir.
I already
we
forgot.
Played so well.
Well, guess what? Varane going to get hurt, and then he's going to be playing again, which is why you're going to need Casemiro.
This is true. We're also talking to Cody Gapko. He looks good, and a proper price, like $38 million.
Right.
That's the type of price you should be paying for these youngsters with a lot of potential out of the Dutch league. Obviously, Anthony. Ajax is just saying, hey, if you pay us stupid money, we'll let you have him. And once you get into that type of territory, you shouldn't be doing the deal. If you really rate him, sign him in January or sign him next summer. I'm not saying anything bad about Anthony. Clearly, he has the Eric Ten Hag connect. Clearly, he looks like a good, promising player, but we're overpaying by double. Once you get to that insane premium, you should probably turn the other way. And what's amazing about this, we're not even linked to a right back.
I know. There's been none of that.
We need a right back. We need a backup goalie. We need a number 9 and a winger.
And another midfielder. If you get no Frankie, you still need another midfielder.
So, given those 5 positions, you could get 3. Who do you get? What positions do you fill?
We need a striker because Ronaldo wants to leave. I think you need a winger. You need a striker or a winger and then another midfielder. I think you hold off on right back right now because you just
no goalie.
Dude, we got the highest paid goalkeeper in the world. I think of all the positions,
you have to have a right back.
Hello, bro. Put in quite a display today.
You need a midfielder and you need a number 9.
You need a number 9.
You need a number 9, and Gapko's not a number 9, and Anthony's not a number 9. So again, the scattergun approach. Look, how many days we have left in the window? Was it 8?
8 or 9?
It's going to come down to it here. Next bit of news here. Obviously, we're covering the protests. Amazing turnout. The green and gold, 1958. They do the red, white, and black. Obviously, all fans are united in getting the Glazers out of Manchester United. We have to be highlighting this. The reason why they're spending all this money late is because they're feeling the pressure. Jim Ratcliffe came out. He said he is interested in buying the club. Apparently, there's rumors that lawyers are sitting down to assess if a deal can be done. The way that would work is they have to kind of see where they are on valuation and key terms. Does Jim buy a stake in the club with a path to ownership, which would basically be taking control from the Glazers? It's complicated because it's a public company. It's also complicated because of the Glazers share scheme. Jim Ratcliffe can't go into the New York Stock Exchange and then buy a majority stake, which would be a hostile takeover, which that other numpty who was yammering on and was talking about that can't exist.
The guy with no money?
The Glazers, to be clear, the Glazers shares on the New York Stock Exchange, they come with a provision that if one of those shares is still outstanding, then they own majority control over the club and any takeover decision, right? And I wrote an article about that. It's on AmericaRedDevils.com if you really want to get nitty gritty. So basically, all the Glazers have to agree to sell, and that's what you're hearing. Is some Glazers want to sell, and apparently Joel and Avram don't. And so if there's one Glazer that doesn't want to sell, then they all can't sell the club. They all have to do it together. It has to be negotiated. So what I'm sure they're figuring out, what's the price, what's the valuation. I have to think $5 billion is enough. $6 billion would literally be $1 billion for each Glazer. It's enough money.
That's what they want. That's what they want.
They need to be liquid. It's like, come on, man. It's like they want that liquidity. They need that liquidity. They're going to get it. It's stupid valuation.
Stupid.
Give to somebody who cares about this club. It's going to be hard. Who knows if there's a deal to do here? But there was a rumor that there was a minority stake. I think that's the Glazers trying to float something to like boost the stock price. Anyone talking about like the stock price going up is preventing Ratcliffe from buying. He's literally going to buy them out at like 2x. It's gonna be 100% premium valuation. Like I think it's like trading at a
$2.5 billion.
Around $2.5 billion enterprise, between 2.25 and $2.5 billion enterprise valuation, because you have to add the debt, right? So Ratcliffe has to clear the debt. It'll be a new capital structure, and then you pay a premium on top of that. So we're gonna keep you posted. But I think the best thing fans could do is look. We put pressure on the sponsors online. That's working. They're feeling the heat. You saw it when Richard Arnold was at the pub saying, "Don't attack our sponsors." Why is the CEO sweating?
He was sweating. I know there's a heat wave, but he was sweating.
Think about it. Why is he sweating, talking really fast, and like buying fans beers and telling them, "Don't boycott the sponsors"? Well, hey, look, it's 2020, motherfucker. It's like social media exists, and guess what? Any sponsor posts anything, I post Glazers out. Manchester United posts anything, I post Glazers out. People don't want to touch this brand. They get attacked if they sponsor us. It's hurting their income source. They have no money. They've run this into the ground. There's nowhere for them to go. They got their backs against the wall, and get them the hell out. And if Jim Ratcliffe can save us, then hallelujah. Hallelujah.
That's right, sir. This is the closest we've seen, just because the rumors like picked up in no-joke publications like Bloomberg talking about how they want to sell a stake, how Apollo sniffing around, but Apollo would basically want to do what the Glazers did 17 years ago. That's basically their model. LBO, pile out a bunch of debt, take out dividends, do share sales, and don't go back to the club. And there's probably not a lot of meat left on that carcass. So at this point, premium's so high, you have to imagine 17 years, the shit is headed in one direction, and that's not up. It'd be a great time for them to get out. They do have numbers on our side. Like I said, 5 of the 7 Glazers want out. 2 that are still hanging around are the ones that get to say, we run Manchester United, and therefore get invited to Davos. Otherwise, no one wants to see that rat tail of Avram Glazer, bro. They're not inviting him to Switzerland otherwise. So keep the pressure on him. Keep the pressure on the club. Keep the pressure on the sponsors. And then United, as a fan group, have to be kind of unified in this. Like, keep the pressure on. They've never been closer to pushing him out, and it's working. It is working because they are sweating, so for good reason.
Yeah, and then you could see it's kind of splashing this cash late in the transfer window.
Totally.
They're reacting to the pressure. So don't buy it. I think that's the number one thing. Kind of going back to the transfer Muppetry, we didn't talk about it, but like Cristiano Ronaldo, he's most likely going. Clearly him, I think if he's not going, he probably starts.
Where's he going?
If he is going, I heard Dortmund, I've heard Sporting. He had that quote on Instagram where he's going to do this interview and he's going to tell everyone like there's 100 articles and 95% of them are lies, and he's going to correct the record. And then Ten Hag was asked that, and he was just like, so I don't know. He didn't have a great answer. He was like, why would you do that? He said, I think, what are you going to accomplish by doing that? So maybe he's going to make United look bad. Maybe he's going to make Bayern Munich look bad. Or like these clubs that said they didn't want him publicly, maybe behind the scenes they did want him. I don't know what Ronaldo's going to do. He doesn't seem happy at United, and him sitting on the bench and us playing like the best we've seen the team play in like months. As a United Ronaldo Muppet, it's sad to see because that means that it is obviously over. And it's just tough. It's tough. You would think that he wouldn't be the ego that he developed after he left United, because I don't think he had it when he was at United. That ego that he developed would come into check a little bit because he just wouldn't be part of a good team. Casemiro wants him to stay. Is it this is the question to you because I'm too biased. Is it does Ronaldo have to go, or can he be a part of this? Right? Because like we don't have another striker, so is it like you're gonna bring in Antony for 100 million euros and get rid of Ronaldo, and we're gonna be better just based on one game against the Scouts Bastards? I actually don't know the answer. What do you think?
Dude, I think if like he was willing to say, I commit to the season and I'm not going to angle again in January, because I'm pissed off I didn't make the Champions League. I think United would be willing. I know fans would be willing to welcome him back with open arms. I even think Eric Ten Hag would, because he knows, like, dude, Ronaldo is he's a great player. He can contribute a lot, even in the style of play that Eric Ten Hag wants to play. He'll sprint when he's got a one-on-one on the net with a goalie, and he can score goals. And Antony is like, dude, the price is so high, it's a silly risk because you're paying such a multiple that like 50 million, even if it doesn't work out, you don't have an egg on your face. 100 million, you have to have a level of production that you cannot guarantee, especially from his short track record. So like, I do think there's a world where they can't sell him, or even he doesn't have a buyer if they were to cancel his contract, or they can't get his replacements in. Like, if they don't get 2 other attacking players in, they're probably not going to sanction the canceling of his contract. But if everything didn't work out to that extent and he had to stay around, I think if he was willing to meet Eric Ten Hag in the middle and say, hey, dude, what happened in the summer wasn't great, but let's start a fresh start. Let's finish the season really strong. Let's get in the Champions League. You can help like mentor a lot of these young kids and get you back in the Champions League. We'll get you a new piece of silverware, which is the Europa League. You never won that. I mean, like, there is a world where if he could put his ego to the side, but it's going to be a big ask on Ronaldo. You're going to ask him to like park that planet. Off of the space station.
I don't think you can.
I don't think he can. I don't think he can either, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. I wish that narrative that you just painted could happen, but like in my gut, I just don't think it can. I think he just has to be. He's a planet. He's like the main man. He's arguably his valuation is probably like at what United will be bought for. So he is on that level of like. Almost bigger than the club, and there should be no player bigger than Manchester United, and if he acts that way, he's got to go, and he probably is going to go, and he'll give a presser and probably absolutely just take a dump all over Manchester United, and I'm sure that
annihilate us, bro.
Too. Yeah, he will, but that's so basically
you're right for that.
That's what's gonna happen is he's gonna leave United, and then he's gonna give like a scathing presser about everything that happened at Manchester United. And another sidebar, shout out to the fan who made the flag of the Avram Glazer clown nose that I designed. I absolutely love seeing that at the protest today. I literally made that in Photoshop and posted on the internet, and you never know what could take hold. But 4 or 5 years later, there's a fan holding up a flag with that on at Old Trafford.
So you made it. You made it, bro. We've arrived. That was awesome. I saw that. I said that to you. I was like, yo, they got a flag of that clown nose, bro.
Let's get into fan questions here. At Glazers Out FC, love the name. Quote, Malacia and Martinez put their bodies on the line today. That's what it takes to succeed in this league. Today we looked like a team of players, and they've executed on their assignments, and you can see Ten Hag ball taking shape. We go from here. I think that's great. At Jamal Mota, sirs, Glazers Out first and foremost. Didn't expect to feel this way today, but what an effort by all the players. Amazing game. We need to kick on from here, and I can't wait for Casemiro. But nothing matters this season other than kicking the Glazers out. Look, our fans get it. They know it. Look, it's a great win, but we got to be focused on the big prize, getting the Glazers out of our club. At T. Zolski, quote, it's still Glazers out, but what a massive 3 points. Love that Eric Ten Hag is ruthless. Martial was fantastic. What a center back pairing with Varane and Martinez. And the last one here, actually, I got 2 more. Grifter 10, effort. That's the difference. Every man on the pitch played with effort. Keep it up, lads. And from Instagram, Gringo Burrow, the beautiful things that happen when Harry Magoo isn't playing. And I hate to say it, but man, he looks like you could see it in the back line today. Like, look at these 2 center backs running around. A lot of effort. They're just not getting like dusted. They're not standing still. Like, that's the required, both legs cramping, putting their bodies on the line. I haven't seen Harry Maguire. When was the last time you see his leg cramp? You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. That's fucking
like,
funny.
Yeah, you never see
funny.
Harry Maguire cramp because he's running around so much, bro?
No, that's
it's
a good point.
It's like never. I saw Martinez like
everyone. They're all cramping.
I know, but when you go to Argentina and we played football, like street football in Argentina, man, it's like tough nose,
Hard
like
as
grit.
nails,
Like
dude.
you see when Martinez put this body on the line. Like when you see Magoo doing that, like never, dude, never. And it's like plays well in the back three. He needs people covering for him, and when you're playing the highest level against the Scouts Bastards, that ain't gonna cut it. And we've seen Harry play against the Scouts Bastards quite a bit, and today was refreshing. That back line.
And not
my God.
not the dog pile, but you're totally right, sir. It's like not only just like the rate of physicality and pace that they were showing, but the teamwork, man. We haven't seen the defense be that organized
exactly.
and on the same page and pumping each other up, dude. They were like pumping each other up. That was so great to see. Harry Maguire was a fucking captain for 2 years, and he never showed the right requisite level of leadership. We're not just bashing on him to bash on him, but like dude, I always thought that was actually a negative, making him play worse being captain because he's just not up to it, and it's obvious. Let him just be a squad player or whatever. But if you have Martinez and Varane fit, he ain't getting that 11, bro. Because like, there's no way he can compete with those two. And Martinez is 5'9". He's got 7 inches on him, and he could probably outjump him. He looked great today.
No, and I'm not trying to like hate on Harry Maguire, but like when you watched him in person against Crystal Palace, like he literally didn't care. Like he wasn't bothered. The body language was poor, pointing at Lindelof, it's your fault. He'd make an error. He wouldn't really like own it. Just like no communication in the back line, no real passion, he's a captain trying to get the lads up for it. And like you're right, we saw teamwork today. We saw people like patting each other on the back, let's go. Like, and when you have somebody who isn't like that, it kind of kills the vibe. And you know, it'd be interesting to see how he's integrated back in this team. But when we've seen it, sir, and seeing it in person is huge, because we showed up to that Crystal Palace game and Bruno was like in tears, ashamed, because the last game of the season, facing the fans, Bruno was like in tears, and Maguire was just like, I'm good, and walked off, like wasn't even concerned. You know, and that tells you a lot. If that guy's the captain, you know, you got to find someone who's going to set the tone.
It all rolls downhill, dude.
And maybe he's not the captain. Maybe he's a good. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's like I saw a whole different back line today, one that can play at the highest level, and that is what we need at Manchester United. It's been too long. Look, that's it. That's the podcast. We are the America Red Devils. We are for fans, by fans. If you like us, please support us on Patreon, patreon.com/America Red Devils. Check out our website, americadevils.com. Click on our store. We have great blog content there as well. Write a review, like, subscribe. Wherever you listen, we're just two Muppets just doing this for the love of the game. That's what it's all about. You got our top downloads the last 7 days, Alex?
Sir, you know it. Number 1, how you doing? Norman, Oklahoma. Salt Lake City, Utah. Englewood, California. Columbus, Ohio. OH. The Colony, Texas. Plano, Texas. Greenville, North Carolina. Mumbai, India. San Anselmo, California. And last but not least, Middleton, OH. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. We could not do it without you. It's always darkest before the dawn. There's a lot of bumps along the road, sir. It's a long season ahead, but promise, hope, and hope of one thing most important of all else is pushing those Glazers out of this team. 17 years. We have fallen a long time. We've fallen very far, sir, but we're not dead yet. This is Manchester United, the greatest club in the world. Let's push them out. And a big game week coming up, 4:30 a.m. Can't wait.
Woo! Southampton, let's go. Let's get another result. We got to build on this one, and let's see where the crazy transfer Muppetry window takes us, sir. It's going to be a very interesting one here. You got a song for us to finish this out?
You know it, sir. After a win like today, we're kicking it old school, baby. It's kicking it blue. Have a good week. We'll talk to y'all soon.